I've been hearing rumors the past couple of years about a small lake in northwest Georgia where the spotted bass and the striped bass grow huge. We're going to experience it in the next half hour. It's right down there. Come on, let's go fishing. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
It's time for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Wow, what an incredible sight down through the mountains there. We're located deep in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains of northwest Georgia. The lake is called Carter's Lake, and it is an incredibly beautiful place with the mountain terrain all the way around you, deep, clear green water. In fact, it's the deepest lake in the entire state of Georgia. I'll tell you how deep it is here in just a couple of minutes, but it is an absolutely fantastic spot for fishing for particularly spotted bass, kind of like a largemouth, but a little different species. We'll talk about that, and huge striped bass. We'll tell you about the guide service available on the lake, a little bit more statistically about the lake, and to just take you on a little tour as I get my first experience at Carter's Lake in northwest Georgia. And while I'm out doing that with the beautiful Nitro Z20 that we've brought all the way from Texas here to Georgia, we'll be taking you around your local area for your fishing and lake reports from our expert team of insider reporters for your local lakes, rivers, and bays. This should be a lot of fun. Stay with us for the next half hour. Right now, the Z20 goes in Carter's Lake, and we get you back to the FSN studios for your weekend planner to get it started.
According to the Salooner tables, each day of the holiday weekend will give anglers a nice opportunity to catch fish. Overall, Saturday is listed as good and Sunday is forecast as excellent, with Monday expected to have some of the best conditions of the month. Look for the sun to rise at 6:23 and set at 8:39. And we'll have a new moon on Monday. We'll be right back with fishing reports from around the area. And I'll return with Bassmaster angler Alton Jones for this week's Ask the Pro segment. But before that, here's a look at some viewer submissions in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. These entries didn't win, but still showcase some really good catches. Barry will have this week's winner towards the end of today's episode.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. Lose, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Come up and jump for us. He won't do it. He's burying down deep. Straight down, straight under the boat. Well, whatever it is a plenty hard pull. Look at that rod bend. Little baby spot right there. All right. Well, there is a Carter's Lake spotted bass on a little wacky worm rig right there. Good morning to you. All right, they're a beautiful fish, and that's just a perfect little specimen there. That's a little male. That's not one of the ones we're fishing for, but it's something to get us going. Anyway, back that fish goes. Thank you. Well, let me get you a few facts about Carter Lake to start with. A little less than 4,000 surface acres, 62 miles long, and get this, over 500 feet deep. The water here is extremely clear, so you need to come prepared to fish spinning tackle, and I've got 8-pound test Stren fluorocast fluorocarbon line on. Fluorocarbon line basically goes invisible in water, and that's critical when you've got crystal clear water like this. Big population of spotted bass. They get up pretty big. We'll talk about that some. In fact, I've got a quick little interview with Louis Bartonfield, who guides every day of his life right here on this lake and has for many years, and he'll give us a little more information in a little while. Right now though, let's get this thing all started back where you live with some fishing at Lake Performance.
The next time you're on the water, if you're looking for a distinct advantage, check out the Hydro Wave by TH Marine. Not only does it mask all the sound you make in your boat, but it just gets the fish to bite by putting bait fish sounds all through the water. Check them out at thmarine.com. You know, the thing in Tennessee and Kentucky right now is the fishing's really good. A lot of that's got to do with the stable weather. We could actually use a little rain, but it's been very pretty, very hot. But it's also locked the fish kind of into the patterns of what they're going to do in the summertime. As far as bass fishing goes, it is primarily offshore fishing in the summertime. From you know, East Tennessee over to Kentucky Lake, the Tennessee River is just kind of the crown jewel of this bass fishing world. So if you're going to come here right now and bass fish, use your electronics, get offshore, and look for schools of fish. Deep diving crankbaits, heavy football jigs, big 10-inch worms, swim baits, things of that nature seem to be the going ticket right now, and they're biting. So the bass fishing's really good. The crappie fishing has been surprisingly consistent. I know guys that are catching them still. They're pulling crankbaits and they're spider rigging offshore on brush and stumps and creek ledges. The coolest thing going on is something I intend to get in on here in the next week or two, the bluegill fishing. My buddy Billy Blakely and the guys over at Blue Bank Resort have just been stomping the big bluegill. It's lasted much longer than normal. So guys, it's happening here in Tennessee and Kentucky. We'd love to see you here. God bless.
There's one. These fish don't jump very much. Look in that clear water. Holy mackerel, that is gorgeous. Look at that in that clear water. Now he jumped. Come up here and let me get a, holy cow. Come on. There we go. There's you. A quality little spotted bass right there. All right, let's talk a little bit about spotted bass. This is, of course, the Alabama strain of spotted bass. There's a Kentucky strain that's much smaller than that. But these Alabama strain spotted bass grow much larger. Again, that's not a big one by any stretch, but these fish love the sun. They're sight feeders. They don't feed so much by scent or by sound or vibration. They depend on actually seeing with their eyes and tracking down a bait that way. So sun is actually good. Most bass species, you want cloudy weather. But on spotted bass, you want sun and you want wind chopping up the water so that they're more aggressive to come to the surface and feed. Now, I'm catching these fish today on a wacky rig, which I'm just throwing it up there and off little points and little ledges and that kind of thing. And all it is a little soft plastic jerk bait, jerk worm. And I'm just hooking it in the middle on a little wacky head, which is a little 16th ounce head with a little weed guard on it so I can fish it around brush. Stay with us. We'll be back for more Carter's Lake, Georgia right after this. This one. Oh yeah. Right by that lay down log. That's a good one right there. Look at this. Up he comes. Nice spot. Gonna loosen the drag and try to play this fish a little bit. Got him. Look at this. Holy cow, I've caught a giant one. Look at that spotted bass. Oh, baby. Thank you, Lord. That's what I wanted. Hooked right in the top of the mouth with a little wacky rig. That's a fat toad right there. Now that's the kind of spotted bass that Carter's Lake is famous for right there. Just a gorgeous, fat, feeding up. They feed on those blueback herring here, and they just gorge themselves on them, and that's why they get so big here. So that's your classic one right there. How about that, folks? Welcome back to Carter's Lake in northwest Georgia. I came a long, long ways to do that. Wow, that was cool. I will tell you that that fish was way out on the very tip end of a big old pine tree that had fallen over in the lake. But the fish was over about 35 feet of water. These fish tend to live deep, so you need to be prepared to fish open water and fish fairly deep. If you're coming to this lake and I just thrown that little jerkworm out the very tip end of one of those pine trees, let it go down fairly deep, twitched it a couple of times, and that's a good one that hit it right there. All righty, time for Fishing and Lake Reports while I catch my breath a little bit. Back where you live, here's an insider reporter for you.
Hey folks, Captain E here with your Carolinas Report, this week brought to you by the Dead Dog Saloon. Stop by and make sure you put us on your list of destinations to visit when you're in the Grand Strand area. Open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come by and see why all the locals are here. It's always about the food, the view, and the music. And I tell you what, the saltwater side of things, let's talk about it. It's warm, it's July. It is time to get out there early in the mornings. Get out and fish deep. The grouper are definitely on those live bottoms out there. Make sure you've got some live pinfish with you or some good cigar minnows or Spanish sardines. You're gonna have a great time this time of the year catching those scamps and gags, and also might get in there and catch a strawberry or a red, but get out and target those deeper water areas. Also this time of the year, I tell you what, the backwater fishing, you may think this hot weather slows it down, but get out there and find those trout early in the morning. Top water with the Zara Spooks or even the Whopper Floppers work great on the salt water right now. Get out there, find your favorite oyster bed that might be holding some bait that's gonna hold some fish, and you'll find those first thing in the morning. As the temperature warms up, you'll find your deeper holes and get ready to target flounder. This has been your Carolinas Report brought to you by the Dead Dog Saloon. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
As I always try to do, I got here a day early before we actually taped the episode of the show here at Carter's Lake, and I was able to do a little scouting, a little fishing with the selfie cam. And so without further ado, here are a couple of quick shots, a couple of more fish from right here at Carter's Lake. Headed into a quick break and we'll be back. That one was out on the end of a tree, and he had me actually hung up in the tree for a little while. There we go. Man. Go. That's a Carter's Lake special right there. Well, they get it right in the tip of their nose. There we go.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. Motor Guide Trolling Motors, because accuracy matters. And Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Hey, welcome back everybody. I've done something different right now. I'm in the wind for one thing, big time. And I threw a jerkbait out there. And I'm gonna have to run around right quick. It's a walleye. It's a giant walleye. Holy mackerel, look what I did. I didn't even know they were in here. Look at this big toad. Wow. Look at the walleye. Man, I've caught a toad. There is no telling how big that walleye is. And what I did was I made a big switch. We've got a rock point, and I just pulled up here in the wind, threw that jerkbait in there. You don't know what you're gonna catch here. You could catch a 20-pound striper. You could catch a 6-pound or a 5-pound spotted bass, or you could catch a giant walleye. Get you some of that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Big old walleye. There he goes. Well, I've caught the bonus fish of Carter's Lake, and it's time right now for you some Fishing and Lake Reports in your local area. Let's get them.
This part of the program is brought to you by Visit Jacksonville. Northeast Florida offers great fishing, family-friendly beaches, top restaurants and resorts that are easy to get to, and offer outdoor fun for everyone. So come on, visit Jacksonville. Summer fishing is about as hot as the weather now in the coastal South. In Georgia, out of Savannah, Captain Judy Helmy tells me that the bottom fishing has been just great. They're catching various types of snapper and also plenty of triggerfish. This is deep water party boat type fishing. Red snappers closed off the coast of Georgia in federal waters, and they all must be released, but they're catching a lot of them. In southeast Georgia, those bait pods are drawing lots of tarpon and some king mackerel. Captain Greg Hildreth is targeting tarpon now, and he's doing very well. A lot of these fish are going to from 100 to 150 pounds. Inshore, Captain Tim Cutting in southeast Georgia, he says that it's a good mix of fish inside these days. Trout, reds, and flounder are all being caught. You want to stay away from the strong running new moon and full moon tides, and try to get that incoming water for clearer water where the trout fishing is best. In Mississippi and Alabama, big bull redfish also are being caught. Most of these fish are being caught south of the islands in bigger, deeper water and are caught trolling. Inside the bays, smaller redfish can be caught, and way offshore, the tuna fishing has been very good around the oil derricks. Well, that's it for the coastal South. Get out on the water and take a youngster when you go.
The Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi Freshwater Fishing Update is brought to you this week by Lake Guntersville, Alabama. Boasting 69,000 acres of clear blue perfection, the area offers hotels, lakefront cabins, public boat ramps, and restaurants. If you prefer big fish in a big pond, Guntersville is the right destination. www.fishguntersvillelake.com. We're officially into summer now, and the blazing sun has been slowing down the fishing throughout the region. But there are still places and times when you can hook some fish. In deep south Alabama, the panfish action is good right now in Monroe County Lake near Beatrice. On this 94-acre state-managed pond, the largemouth bass keep the bluegill under control so that the brim can grow bigger. Fish up to 3/4 of a pound are common. You have good bank access as well as a bait shop, boat ramp, and restrooms available here. Simple light tackle like an earthworm or a cricket under a float will get you started to that summer fish fry at Monroe County Lake. In northeast Mississippi's Tippah County Lake, the largemouth bass are now offshore hanging around structure. You can try plastic worms fished around the fish attractors in the Old Creek Channel on the northwest arm of the lake. The striped bass are concentrated in deep water schools on Georgia's Lake Lanier just north of Atlanta. Live shad or blueback herring are the baits to fool these fish.
Carter's Lake is about 4,000 acres. We're in North Georgia. This is the headwaters of the famous Coosa River that runs through Alabama. This is the first Coosa chain river. This is the Coosa-Wadi River that feeds this. These spotted bass here in this lake are native here. We've had these things forever. They get really big. We've got a lot of blueback herring and alewife herring, threadfin shad, gizzard shad. The spots here in this lake are the Alabama breed, like what you hear about out in California that's getting so big. That's the reason that they get bigger than the Tennessee River spots and a lot of those Kentuckys that you hear about through most of the country. It's very common here to catch 5 and 6 pound spots on a daily basis. You just never know. Any cast can be that magic spotted bass.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday night at 6, or catch the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8:30. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button, and see lots of how-to and product videos by clicking the how-to button. Also, stay up to date with the latest fishing news, videos, and photos by clicking the follow button on our Twitter feed, and get lots of that same info by clicking the like button on our Facebook page. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question. This week, John would like to know, what is the best way to catch bass in extreme hot temperatures? We asked 2008 Classic champion Alton Jones for the answer.
There's two things I like to do during extremely hot weather to help me catch bass. One is look for areas of current. You see, current will negate the effects of either extreme heat or extreme cold. Find the current, you'll find the bass. Another thing, during extreme heat, the opposite of what you would expect, go extremely shallow. Look for isolated pieces of cover and less than 3 feet of water and hang on. Best of luck.
Thank you, Alton. If you have a question for us to ask one of the anglers, visit our website, follow the Ask the Pro link on the right side of the page, and let us know. Now one lucky viewer wins a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week. Enjoy the holiday and be safe on the water.
Here is this week's much anticipated winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. He is Joseph Anderson of Columbia, Tennessee, showing an 8-pound, 2-ounce largemouth bass he caught at Williamsport Lakes in Tennessee. If you would like to be our next winner, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click in the Costa Catch of the Week area on the right side of the front page, follow the instructions to send us your big fish photo, and you just might be our next winner. And you can see all of the great Costa frame and lens styles at their website by going to the front page of our site again and clicking on the Costa logo. There you can see all of the 580 polycarbonate and glass lenses in all the various colors and all of the frame styles, including the frame I was wearing on this week's episode. This one is called Harpoon. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, it's the right gear if you would like to go catch big spotted bass on your favorite lake or here at Carter's Lake like we did. The two baits we used today were, on your left is a suspending jerkbait. It's the weighted model that dives 5 to 8 feet deep and stays there. Something in a Tennessee shad or a herring pattern works just great. Then on your right, it's a wacky rigged soft plastic jerkbait. That's very hard to say. It's got a 1/16 ounce wacky rigged weedless hook, and then that's just a typical 5 or 6 inch soft plastic jerkbait. I believe in creation, that God created the heavens, the earth, and everything in it. And in the process of doing that, He created planets. And when He did that, He created day and night. And that is very good news for me and for you for a good reason. That means that every day is a clean start, a fresh slate, a do-over, a chance to put whatever you didn't like about yesterday in the past and forget about it. And I don't know about you, but I am a big fan of the do-over. And I can tell you that after my first trip here, I am also a big fan of Carter's Lake. This lake has not only great walleye, as we found out today, big stripers, big hybrid stripers, but it has some of the best spotted bass fishing across the entire southeastern United States, and I'm a big fan of a spotty. They are a hard-fighting, hard-pulling, great game fish, and I think you would enjoy a trip here. I'll meet you right back here next week on the show. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes from Northwest Georgia saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.